As Muhammad was pointing out earlier, you are praised to no end when you convert to Islam. If you make any effort at studying it, you're like a god almost. You're so praised and so celebrated all the time. So obviously that felt good, that felt great. And that, to be honest, lasted the whole time that I was a Muslim. So that felt pretty amazing, and I could see people wanting that more and more, right? You get that and that feels good. I want some more. So that was, one of the things that was so great. The sense of community. The sense of community was phenomenal and lasted also until I deconverted. So this was huge, a huge attraction, and I think goes a long way to keep people in the Islamic faith for such a long time, is that, again, you always have friends, you always have people around you. People never leave you alone. They always make sure, they never leave you alone. If you're alone, you might leave. So they never leave you alone. They talk to you, they call you every day, you make amazing friends, you see them every day. The sense of community was really, really great. And it was, after I've deconverted, it wasn't that easy to find again. So again, I can see why that would be such a big draw for people. Another thing was, it gave me, myself, a false sense of peace. At first, I felt like everything, everything is mapped out for me. If I follow this, I will never have mental health issues. I will never be unhappy. I will never be stressed. I will never be lonely. I will never be basically anything. Everything will be beautiful. Life will be basically perfect. So for a long time, this false sense of peace stays. Not quite as long as the sense of community. That goes quicker. Eventually, you actually study the religion, and then the sense of peace goes away. You get really confused and a little bit stressed out and upset. So again, the praise of the people, I can't get back to it enough. That was so great. What was unexpected to me, completely unexpected. Again, as Muhammad was saying, it takes 2 sentences to convert. La ilaha illallah wa Muhammad Rasulullah. I'm also not a Muslim. Again, that's never going to happen. It takes that much. In my experience, and for me, it took only that much. I read like 2 little introductory books given to me by an Islamic center somewhere. And that seemed great. Everything seemed beautiful. I converted. I knew nothing about the religion other than the 5 pillars. And there's only one God, not 3. You only worship the one God, and there's no intermediary between you and God. There's no priest, there's no minister, there's no reverend, there's only you and God. It somehow seemed somewhat appealing, and then I realized God only speaks Arabic. He's omnipotent, omniscient, but he only speaks Arabic and only understands Arabic. Thus, I have to learn enough Arabic and enough surahs in the Quran, like chapters of the Quran, so that I can pray and perform prayers in Arabic. And I thought that was unexpected. That was, it's a very universalist religion, but he only speaks one language. I'm not sure I get it. Another thing was, as you start to study, then so many things come up. As Muhammad again was pointing out earlier, the state of fitra, like natural belonging to Islam. So there are many odd things about this. There were hadith where the Prophet, Muhammad, whenever he evacuated, it would just disappear. Things like this. So you read this, and as you go along, you're like, okay, that makes no sense whatsoever. So there are a lot of unexpected bits like this. Because you convert, you have no knowledge. You start to get knowledge after you convert. And most of it is odd and off and unexplainable. So as you study more and more, you find more and more of these details. And it's just, I couldn't deal with it in the long term. One thing that to me was, I guess, unexpected that I learned after converting, but before my mother passed away, is that okay, I'm a Muslim, people around me were not. My family wasn't. They were all atheists, agnostics, or Catholics. When these people are alive, you can pray for the salvation of their souls. So that, not salvation of the soul, you can pray that they will convert to Islam and thus have a chance for salvation. Once they passed, once they are dead, you can no longer pray to God for the salvation of their soul. They had to convert while they were alive. Once they're dead, it's done. My mother passed away. I was like, no, she was a good person. She was a great human being. I cannot believe that I'm not allowed. It's a sin to actually pray for the salvation of her soul. So that many details like this were unexpected. Islam, before I started reading about those, felt so universal. And then I'm like, no, not at all. It's really not. It's very select. It's a select club of small people that's going to go to heaven, and everybody else is burning in hell. So a lot of unexpected things through the years of study.